Hello everyone, my name is Elenia Andrew, number metric 301116. Today I'll be presenting the internationalization strategy and challenges of TotalEnergies and Petrobras, that is two major players in global energy sector. Let's start with TotalEnergies. TotalEnergies is a French multinational operating in around 120 countries across the 5 continents, making it a highly global company. Its international strategy is based on multi-energy model, which means it is involved in everything from oil and gas to renewable like wind and solar. What makes TotalEnergies stand out is its fully integrated approach, covering exploration, production, distribution, and even marketing. It also been expanding globally through strategic acquisition like VSB Group in Germany and SN Power in Africa. On top of that, it focuses heavily on sustainability, aligning with UN Sustainable Development Goals and using strict internal process to manage environmental, social and regulatory risks. Now, let's look at Petrobras. Petrobras is based in Brazil, has a smaller international footprint, operating in only 18 countries, mostly in Latin America. Unlike TotalEnergies, Petrobras grew internationally through strategic partnership and joint venture. For example, working with TotalEnergies, ExxonMobil and Qatar Energy in South Africa. Petrobras is now investing heavily, over $100 billion, to shift toward clean energy. However, it faces bigger challenges. These include Brazil's unstable political climate, regulatory challenges, and the impact of past scandals like Lava Jato corruption case. TotalEnergies is global and active in clean energy. Petrobras is regional and still transitioning. TotalEnergies manage risk globally. Petrobras face local political and financial issues. In conclusion, TotalEnergies follow a broader and more advanced path to internationalization, while Petrobras is taking slower but strategic step forward. And that's all for me.
Okay, next, my name is Muhammad Faiz Berinto Rizal, 301340. As we can see, the table shows comparison of the financial health of TotalEnergies and Petrobras. Both companies saw revenue decline, with TotalEnergies at minus 9.52% and Petrobras at minus 10.73%. This slightly reflects the impact of a volatile global energy market. However, Petrobras report a slightly higher net profit margin of 8.32%, while TotalEnergies record 7.47%, showing Petrobras convert more of its revenue into profit. For return on asset, TotalEnergies clearly leads with 16.6% compared to Petrobras 4.19%, indicating stronger efficiency in asset use. Return on equity is close, which is for TotalEnergies 13.6% and 12.87% for Petrobras, showing strong shareholder return from both. When looking at debt, Petrobras has a higher debt to equity ratio of 2.06 versus TotalEnergies 1.37, meaning it relies more on borrowing. Lastly, TotalEnergies has a healthier current ratio of 1.0979, while Petrobras is below 1 at 0.6941, suggesting more liquidity risk in the short term. Okay, for this slide, I will explain about the geographical market split and also financial source are used by this both company. For TotalEnergies, this company operates globally in about 120 countries, with all operation in 50 over 13,000 service stations and 78,000 EV charging points. It is investing heavily in renewable across Europe, Brazil, and the United States, showing strong commitment to energy transition. Petrobras, meanwhile, focus mostly within Brazil, where 84% of its oil is produced. While it lacks global reach, it is exploring biofuels and biogas to support sustainability. In terms of funding, TotalEnergies relies mainly on internal revenue, reinvesting in clean energy while maintaining low debt and strong financial health. Petrobras also uses internal cash flow but depends more on external debt, which increases its financial risk. Plus, government ownership plays a big role in its financial decision. In summary, TotalEnergies is globally diversified and financially cautious, while Petrobras is more locally focused and debt reliant.
Hi everyone, today I will be present on financial market risk and risk management strategy for TotalEnergies and Petrobras. So, for your information, These both companies have been facing several risks such as foreign exchange risk, credit risk, interest rate risk, commodity price risk, and also liquidity risk, which is very common in a highly volatile global energy market. In foreign exchange risk, TotalEnergies earns revenue mostly in US dollar but reports in euros. They manage this with hedging using swap and forward contract, while Petrobras earns in US dollar but has a large debt in Brazilian, this making them more exposed to currency fluctuation. In interest rate risk, TotalEnergies keep a lower amount of floating debt and use interest rate swaps to limit this risk, while Petrobras has a larger portion of debt which is exposed to interest rate and will be increasing their financial costs when rates go up. In credit risk, TotalEnergies has a low debt to equity ratio. That means that they have a strong financial stability, while Petrobras has a higher debt level, so credit risk will remain a concern. In commodity price risk, both companies depend on oil prices. For TotalEnergies, they are more diversified because they are investing in renewable and low carbon energy, which help them reduce the risk, while Petrobras remain more oil dependent and therefore they are more sensitive to oil prices swings. Finally, in liquidity risk, TotalEnergies has a good liquidity with a healthy current ratio and strong cash reserve, while Petrobras has a weaker liquidity and relies more on rolling over its debt. In summary, TotalEnergies shows a stronger financial risk management and better diversification and also resilience, while Petrobras still faces a higher risk due to debt exposure and also local economic factors. So that's all from my part, thank you.
My name is Choyong Singh, metric number 30052X. Now I will present mergers, acquisitions, and industry dynamics for TotalEnergies and Petrobras. First is major mergers and acquisition. TotalEnergies acquired Max Oil in 2017 for $1.7 billion, which expanded its upstream production in the North Sea. Petrobras acquired a majority stake in the Bugis pre-salt oil field in 2019 for over $17 billion, strengthening control over a high-return domestic asset. Next is strategic motivation. TotalEnergies was focused on international expansion, improving cost efficiency and enhancing its global position. Petrobras classified domestic assets to improve operational efficiency and maximize national resource value. For the market reaction, TotalEnergies share price increased above €55, showing a positive market reaction to its global strategies. Petrobras share price increased to around $18 by 2022, but it came with high volatility, largely due to the political and economic uncertainties in Brazil. Looking at regulatory and risk environment, TotalEnergies operates under a stable European regulatory framework, which helps minimize the geopolitical risk. However, Petrobras faces greater domestic uncertainty, including state intervention and political volatility, increasing its operational risk. In terms of long-term direction, TotalEnergies is focused on upward expansion and global diversification. Petrobras takes an inward-looking approach aiming at domestic consolidation and asset control within Brazil. In summary, TotalEnergies has shown steady growth through international mergers and acquisitions and earned strong investor confidence. Petrobras, while achieving high short-term returns, remaining more exposed to local, political, and economic risks.
Next, I will present about 6.0 corporate governance and ethical consideration. So for board leadership, TotalEnergies combines CEO and chairman roles, which is held by Patrick Poyen, allowing strategic agility but mitigated by a lead independent director. So Petrobras separate both roles, but government-appointed directors increase political influence. As for shareholder rights and transparency, TotalEnergies upholds strong shareholder rights under EU law with high transparency and ESG compliance. In contrast, Petrobras state ownership limits shareholder influence and raise concern on decision-making independence. As for IFRS compliance,
Both firms follow IFRS, but TotalEnergies is viewed as more consistent and aligned with global standards. So Petrobras is still worth to retain trust after reporting issues. Lastly is about the ethical issues. So Petrobras was deeply involved in the Lava Jato corruption scandal, severely damaging its credibility. But TotalEnergies faced minor past controversies but has reinforced compliance since. Overall, Petrobras faced more serious governance challenge.